Do you think people would be surprised that you listen to Taylor Swift?
I think I've said it.
I think people would be surprised. Surprised.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I have her like some of her older songs in my playlist. I've always thought she's like a super talented, great artist.
And do you like country music?
Love country music.
Kim Kardashian just publicly praised Taylor Swift for the first time in over a decade, calling her a super talented, great artist on her sister's podcast. And after years of one of the most documented celebrity feuds in modern pop culture, these words mark a surprising shift in a conflict that's involved leaked phone calls, diss tracks, and millions of snake emojis. On January 21st, 2026, Kim appeared on her sister Chloe's podcast, Chloe in Wonderland, and made some unexpected comments about Taylor Swift. When the topic came up, Kim said, quote, "I have some of her older songs in my playlist. I've always thought she's like a super talented, great artist." And she also mentioned that she loves country music, which is why she gravitates toward Taylor's earlier tracks. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, wait, aren't these two supposed to hate each other? You're not wrong to be confused. This is the same Kim Kardashian who released edited phone call clips of Taylor Swift on Snapchat back in 2016.
Oh, okay, dope. You still got the Nashville number?
I still have the national area code, but I had to change it.
For all my Southside niggas that know me best, I feel like me and Taylor might still have sex.
Unlike this close to overexposure.
Followed by a series of snake emojis, which helped create one of the biggest pile-ons in social media history. And this praise comes less than 2 years after Taylor released a song called Thank You Amy. So, what's going on here? To understand why this moment matters, we need to go back to where this all started. The Origins, 2009. The relationship between Kim Kardashian and Taylor Swift has been intertwined with Kanye West from the very beginning. The moment became instantly iconic for all the wrong reasons. So much so that President Obama got recorded calling Kanye a jackass and saying the incident was inappropriate. Here's where things get interesting, though. That same year, 2009, Kim Kardashian told reporters that her favorite song was Taylor Swift's Love Story, which means at one point Kim was actually a Taylor Swift fan. Keep that in mind as we move forward because it makes Kim's recent comments even more fascinating. For years after that VMA incident, things seemed relatively calm between everyone involved. Taylor and Kanye had their ups and downs, but Kim wasn't really part of the narrative, and that all changed in 2016. The explosion, February to July 2016. In February 2016, Kanye West released a song called Famous that included a controversial lyric. "I feel like me and Taylor might still have sex. Why? I made that bitch famous," and obviously Taylor Swift was not happy about this, particularly with being called a pejorative term without her knowledge or consent. Kanye claimed he had obtained prior approval of the lyrics from Swift, which Taylor denied. The whole thing became a he said, she said situation, and for months the public didn't know what to believe. But that was all about to change. July 17th, 2016. That's the date that changed everything. Kim Kardashian released trimmed video clips of a phone call between Taylor Swift and Kanye West on Snapchat. And the timing coincided with a GQ magazine interview where Kim addressed the situation. In these edited clips, you could hear Taylor seemingly approving parts of the song, which made it look like she was lying about the whole thing.
Thing to have.
I know,
Definitely.
it's like a compliment, kind of.
Yeah. What I give a fuck about is just you as a person and as a friend. I want things that make you feel good. I don't want to do rap that makes people feel bad.
Yeah, I mean, go with whatever line you think is better. It's obviously very tongue-in-cheek either way. And I really appreciate you telling me about it. That's really nice.
Oh yeah, I thought I just had a responsibility to you as a friend, you know. And thanks for being like so cool about it.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Like, the heads up is so nice. Like, things without, like, even asking or seeing if I'd be okay with it, and I just really appreciate it. Like, I never would have expected you to, like, tell me about a line in one of your songs.
It was
And
pretty
then
crazy.
the flowers that you sent me, I, like, Instagrammed a picture of them, and it's the most Instagram likes I've ever gotten. It was, like, 2.7.
Relationships are more important than punchlines, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody would listen to that and be like, oh, that's a real diss. Like, she must be crying about it. Just, you gotta tell the story the way that it happened to you and the way that you experienced it. Like,
Kim followed up by tweeting a series of snake emojis, claiming it was National Snake Day, and the internet exploded. Within hours, the hashtag #TaylorSwiftIsOverParty became the top trending hashtag on Twitter. Snake emojis flooded Taylor's social media, and the public narrative shifted dramatically. Taylor went from being seen as a victim to being called a liar and a snake by millions of people online. This moment had massive consequences for Taylor Swift's career and mental health, which she later opened up about in a December 2023 Time magazine interview when she was named Person of the Year. She described what happened next in her own words. "You have a fully and then put out to say to everyone that I was a liar. That took me down psychologically to a place I've never been before. I moved to a foreign country. I didn't leave a rental house for a year. I was afraid to get on phone calls. I pushed away most people in my life because I didn't trust anyone anymore. I went down really, really hard." That's the real impact we're talking about here, and this wasn't just celebrity drama playing out for entertainment value. This was something that fundamentally affected Taylor Swift's life and mental health in ways most people never saw. March 2020. For years, Kim's version of events stood as the dominant narrative. But in March 2020, the full, unedited phone call leaked online, and it painted a very different picture. The complete recording showed that Taylor's concerns were more substantive than the edited clips suggested, revealing that the conversation was more nuanced and that Taylor had legitimate reasons for being upset about how the song portrayed her. Public perception began to shift back in Swift's favor, and many people who had participated in calling her a liar started to reconsider their positions. By this point, Taylor had already released her album Reputation in 2017, which directly addressed the snake imagery and the feeling of being vilified, and the controversy had shaped an entire era of her career. Taylor's response: "Thank You, Amy," 2024. Fast forward to April 19th, 2024. Taylor Swift released The Tortured Poets Department, the anthology. And on that album was a track that immediately caught everyone's attention because it was initially titled Thank You, Amy, with the capitalized letters spelling out K-I-M. Later, it was re-released with different capitalization spelling out Y-E for Kanye West, but the original version made the target crystal clear. The song is a country, folk, and folk pop track with country pop stylings, instrumented by guitar strums, and in it Swift's character criticizes someone named Amy for her lack of development, and implies that Amy is a fake name. Lyric references to spray tans led many to interpret this as being aimed at Kardashian, but here's where it gets interesting. In the third verse, Swift's character actually thanks Amy, telling her that even though she wrote 1,000 songs that you find uncool, she built a legacy which you can't undo. And it's both a criticism and an acknowledgement that the controversy ultimately made Taylor stronger and more successful. Taylor performed this song for the first time on June 22nd, 2024 at London's Wembley Stadium, mashing it up with her song Mean. And before performing, she told her audience, "When you think about how every time somebody talks shit, it just makes me work even harder, and it makes me that much tougher." So how did Kim respond to this very pointed song? She didn't, at least not publicly. Upon the release of Thank You, Amy, Kim did not publicly react to the track, but a source told People magazine days after the album's release that Kim was over their feud and thinks Taylor should move on, with the source adding, "It's been literally years." From Taylor's side, a source told US Weekly that Taylor has moved on and is not looking back, and the song is her final word, with the insider adding that the Eras Tour star has not heard from Kardashian about the song. Both sides were essentially saying the same thing. We're done with this, we've moved on, this is over, but neither had actually said anything positive about the other until now. The podcast moment, January 2026. Which brings us to January 21st, 2026, and the Chloe in Wonderland podcast. This podcast is hosted by Kim's sister Khloe Kardashian and has been quite successful since launching its first episode on January 8th, 2025. And through its first 12 episodes, it amassed 121 million video views and 425 million impressions on X, formerly Twitter. The show was cited as the most popular original amongst Gen Z and millennial women, and consistently ranks in the top 10 on Apple and Spotify's Society and Culture
The
charts.
same day,
The
Kim
podcast
first
releases
teased the
weekly,
existence of the
first
video
on
with
X
Kanye.
on Wednesdays with 24-hour exclusivity, then on all other platforms on Thursdays, and Kim appeared on the January 21st episode where at some point during the conversation the topic of Taylor Swift came up. Kim's exact words were, "I have some of her older songs in my playlist. I've always thought she's like a super talented, great artist." And she also noted that "I love country music," explaining why she gravitates toward Taylor's earlier tracks. TMZ characterized this as being strictly about the music, and noted that it's unclear if Taylor's 2024 diss track, "Thank You, Amy," made the cut on Kim's playlist. Given that Kim specifically mentioned older songs and her love of country music, it seems like she's focusing on Taylor's earlier work rather than the recent albums. There's an interesting family dynamic here too. Kim's daughter Northwest, who's 12 years old, has previously posted videos on TikTok dancing along to Taylor Swift's music, which means Taylor's music has been present in the Kardashian household despite the mother's history. What does this mean? So what should we make of this? Is this an olive branch? Is this genuine appreciation? Or is this Kim trying to finally put the feud to rest? TMZ's reporting suggests this is strictly about the music, and that framing is worth paying attention to because Kim isn't apologizing for 2016. She's not addressing the phone call leak or the snake emojis. She's not acknowledging the harm that Taylor described in her Time magazine interview. And what she's doing is separating the art from the artist in a way, acknowledging that regardless of their personal history, Taylor Swift is talented at what she does. The limitations of what Kim said are worth noting too. She specifically mentioned older songs and her love of country music, and Taylor Swift hasn't made a primarily country album since Red in 2012, with Speak Now before that in 2010. Kim might be talking about music that's now 12 to 14 years old. She's not praising the Tortured Poets Department or Midnights or even Folklore and Evermore, and she's keeping it safe by focusing on the earlier era. The timing is also interesting because this comes almost 2 years after Thank You, Amy was released. By April 2024, sources were saying Kim thought Taylor should move on, and now in January 2026, Kim is publicly acknowledging Taylor's talent for the first time since the feud began. That's a subtle but meaningful shift. There's been no response from Taylor Swift or her representatives as of the TMZ story publication. Based on the U.S. Weekly source from 2024 saying that the song was Taylor's final word and that she had moved on, it's entirely possible that Taylor won't respond at all because she's stated her piece. She's moved forward with her incredibly successful career, and she may not feel the need to acknowledge Kim's comments. The bigger picture. Let's zoom out and look at where both of these women are in their careers right now because context matters here. Taylor Swift, at 37 years old, is at an unprecedented peak in her career. In 2023, she was named Time magazine's Person of the Year. Her Eras tour became the highest-grossing concert tour of all time, exceeding $1 billion in revenue. And she's won 14 Grammy Awards as of 2024, including multiple Album of the Year wins. The Tortured Poets Department secured its 14th week at #1 on the Billboard 200 chart as of August 2024, and by any measure, she is one of the most successful artists of all time. Kim Kardashian, at 44, is also at a high point in her career, but in a different arena. Her company Skims was valued at $4 billion as of 2023. She has over 350 million Instagram followers as of 2024. And she passed California's baby bar exam in 2021 as part of her pursuit of a legal career. She's a businesswoman, influencer, and media personality with massive cultural impact. Both of them have built empires, both of them have massive fan bases, and both of them have moved far beyond where they were in 2016. The question is whether they've moved far enough to actually reconcile, or if this is just Kim acknowledging reality, that Taylor Swift is objectively talented, regardless of their personal history. The cultural legacy of this feud didn't just affect Kim and Taylor because it became a cultural touchstone that influenced how we talk about celebrity conflicts, social media pylons, and the power of edited narratives. The snake emoji association that Kim helped create became so powerful that Taylor literally reclaimed it during her Reputation era, putting snakes in her music videos and on her merchandise, and she turned a symbol meant to tear her down into a symbol of resilience. The phrase Taylor Swift is over party became a top trending hashtag in 2016, and people genuinely believed her career might be finished, but instead she came back stronger. Her career trajectory since 2016 has been nothing short of remarkable. The leaked phone call controversy also raised questions about privacy, consent, and the ethics of recording and releasing private conversations. California is a two-party consent state, which means recording someone without their knowledge is illegal, and Taylor referred to it as an illegally recorded phone call in her Time interview. And she's legally correct about that. This feud also demonstrated the power and danger of social media mobs in a way few other incidents have. Millions of people participated in calling Taylor Swift a liar and a snake based on edited clips without knowing the full context. And when the complete recording came out years later, many of those same people had to confront the fact that they'd contributed to a massive pile-on based on incomplete information. Where do we go from here? Kim's comments on the podcast don't erase the past. They don't undo the 2016 Snapchat incident or the mental health struggles that Taylor described. They don't address the snake emojis or the edited phone call, but they do represent something we haven't seen before. Kim Kardashian publicly acknowledging, in her own words, that Taylor Swift is talented. Is it enough? That depends on what you're hoping for here. If you're hoping for a full apology and reconciliation, this isn't it. And if you're hoping for Kim to admit wrongdoing in 2016, this isn't it either. But if you're hoping for a small step toward both parties moving forward without actively fueling the conflict, then maybe this is something. The fact that Kim felt comfortable enough to say these things on a public platform, on her sister's podcast, suggests that she's genuinely moved past the active antagonism phase of this feud. She's not trying to tear Taylor down anymore, she's acknowledging her talent while maintaining appropriate distance, and that's new. Whether Taylor responds or not, whether this leads to any further softening of their relationship or not, we've witnessed a moment that didn't seem possible just a few years ago. Kim Kardashian, calling Taylor Swift a super talented, great artist. Conclusion. This is the story of how a decade-long feud, born from a 2009 VMA interruption and escalated by a 2016 phone call leak, has potentially reached a new chapter. Kim Kardashian's comments on Chloe in Wonderland won't make headlines the way the original controversy did. They won't generate millions of snake emojis or trending hashtags. But in their own way, they're noteworthy precisely because they're understated. After years of drama, leaked recordings, diss tracks, and public statements through sources, we finally have Kim saying something positive about Taylor directly and in her own voice. It's limited to the music, it's focused on older songs, and it's not an apology or even really an attempt at reconciliation. But it's also not antagonistic. It's not dismissive, and it's an acknowledgement of talent, even if it comes with caveats. Both of these women have built incredible careers and legacies. Both have influenced culture in massive ways, and both have millions of fans who will dissect every word and gesture related to this feud. Both seem to have reached a point where they're focused on their own success rather than each other's failures. Will Taylor Swift respond? We don't know yet. Will Kim say anything more about this? We don't know that either. Will they ever actually make peace or have a conversation about what happened? Nobody knows. But what we do know is that on January 21st, 2026, Kim Kardashian called Taylor Swift super talented, and in the context of their history, that actually means something. Sometimes closure doesn't come with big dramatic gestures, and sometimes it comes with small acknowledgments that the other person is good at what they do, even if you'll never be friends. After everything that's happened between these two, maybe that's enough. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think about Kim's comments. Do you think this signals a real shift, or is it just Kim being diplomatic? And do you think Taylor will respond? I'll see you in the next video.